That's what chaga looks like. Just a mushroom. Grows on the side of a tree. Wagon wheels with the spokes still in it. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And one of the adult beaver right there. That's a big beaver. I just let a bunch of water out of the carburetor, so. Broken bolt right there. First seeds going into the ground. Got some radishes.
A European mount where we take all the meat and skin off of the scalp. Put 3 to 4 seeds. Probably gonna put 4 seeds in there and use a hoe and scrape some dirt over.
Here we go. Well, welcome to the Beaver Retriever channel. This week we're gonna do a little bit of everything like usual. So today we are off to go chaga hunting. Looking for a mushroom that grows on birch trees. Just trying to stockpile some. I usually sell a little bit here and there. So I'm up in this area doing a nuisance beaver job. So I figured I might as well go for a walk for chaga while I'm up here. Yeah, hopefully we find some today. You just never know when it comes to chaga hunting. You come into some areas and find all kinds. You go into other areas and not find a freaking speck of it. Found our first piece. Right there. Pop a little bit of that off. So we try to leave some so it'll regrow. There. And that's what chaga looks like. Just a mushroom. Grows on the side of a tree.
So we make that into a tea. Very healthy tea. So
pretty good money in selling it too. So I try to keep some on hand. Sell some every now and then. A little more chaga. Hit some there, some there. One. Enough to grow. There's 2. Enough to grow. I even drink this stuff myself. Yeah, so this is probably about my favorite part of adventuring. So I can stop and take breaks on places like this. Look at that. That's freaking nice. Oh, we're gonna stop, sit right here, take a break for a little while. And boss dog, he's got my back there. Right, boss? Got my back? Nothing or nobody can ever sneak up on me, especially when I get old boss dog with me. He'll hear or see somebody long before I do. Found a little more. Yeah, nice. That's a good little knot of it. Moose has been around here eating the bark off of this moose maple. They grab onto that bark and rip it right off. One last goes way down in the tree right there. Yeah, it's adding up now. A little bit in the pack. A little over 10 pounds now. Alright, so we made it back to the truck, and this is what we ended up with. That's quite a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my axe and just try to cut them in half. I try to chop it up to make them 4 inches smaller. Helps on drying too. Stuff takes a while to dry if you left it whole. Alright, we're going to try to find another area to walk and do one more big walk. We're just headed down into the next spot here. And I see a bunch down on the tree over here. There's some right there. Not much, but that was a little piece there. Oh, nice. Look at this side. Sweet. Just found some more right there. I see some more down here. Maybe. Oh yeah, pretty sure it is. Nice. There's a little honey hole over here. Drop that off. Leave the rest to grow. I think I see some more already. Yeah, this is a good area. Right there, there's chaga. Yeah, this place got way more chaga than that last place. Yeah, that's chaga right there. There's chaga. So nice. Right, well, since this is producing pretty good, I was only gonna go for a quick little walk right here and work over behind the truck. But this has been pretty good on this side, so I'm gonna go grab the dog, offload what I got, and head out behind me right there. We got a big area here to cover. Yeah, that was a pretty good score. Just a quick little walk, and I got at least half of what I got on that last big walk. We're gonna walk way out back here and see what we find. You know, boss dog. He's such a good boy. Holy, we just found a monster piece. This freaking thing is huge. That is huge. Probably hard on camera. Doesn't show up lightness, but that's a huge chunk of chaga. Alright, so I went and found a dead stick here. Dead small pole. And we're gonna stand it up and try to beat that freaking knot off. That freaking knot is freaking huge. Can't wait to get that down and show you up close. So let's stand this pole up if we can. This time of year though. They pop off pretty good this time of year. Whoa, they got part of it. That's that one that's coming down whole. Before that falls down in my head, thing's not going to come down. Oh, that comes a piece of it. Yeah, that's quite a bit of chaga. Wish it came off all in one big chunk, but it didn't. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a good one. Yeah, nice. That's more than I found on the freaking whole walk. On the first walk. About filled up my pack here, so we're gonna you can almost see the truck. That's how far into the woods we are. So we're gonna go drop this stuff off in the truck and come back out. This place is freaking a producing area. Check out this rock. That looks pretty cool. Bunch of just like quartz all through it. Yeah, that's another good pack full. Found quite a bit on that walk. That's a nice knot right there. Probably like 50 to 75 pounds I've already found today. Let's go see if we got any beaver. Come up to my first nuisance spot. And the first trap is still set. Definitely beaver here. They knocked my freaking trap right over. So that sucks. Wise beaver. Alright, this ought to get them. Got a foothold right there. Drowning set. A little bit of caster back here. Alright, on to the next flowage. We've got 2 more to check. Yeah, so all 4 traps were still set here. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, so then I'm going to go check out further up above here. I think I would have caught something out of these 4 traps. So I'm going to leave them be and we're going to go up and walk around way up above. Well, no beaver up above, so I don't know. But I did run into all this. We got something freaking huge here. Some sort of big wagon. That's the old wheels. There's an old chain on it. Wow, this stuff's pretty cool. Never seen this before up here. No wagon wheels. Oh, check out that wagon wheel. Used to be right on this wagon right there. That's the old spoke. Even got one of the old spokes are still there. That's crazy. Man, this is pretty cool. Yeah, we got the old plow. Single blade plow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's 2 blades. I'm gonna stand this bad boy up. Oh yeah. Yep. Wheels. It's a 2 blade one either way. That's pretty cool. Yep, nice. Back down. This has been pretty cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Still going through this stuff. But check out what I found over here. Wagon wheels with the spokes still in it. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's freaking awesome. You know how old that is? Solid, both spokes, both wheels are here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I definitely love this old school stuff. Yeah, look at these old stove pieces. I don't know how it was, but it was definitely an old stove of some sort or something. I just found their old well. Yep, there's the old well. Nice, that's pretty cool. Oh, sweet. Oh, check out what I just found. Fucking right. Sweet. Another piece of an old 2-man crosscut saw. I will bring that home with me. That's pretty cool. Some old bones. Nice, that's pretty cool. Oh, there's another piece to it. I wonder if it's the whole saw here. Yeah, there's another piece. Yeah, that was pretty cool finding all that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice one of my pieces of 2-man crosscut. Put it in this tree and it'll grow in that tree and stay there forever. So that'll be cool. I'll look to be an old man. I'll come back, check that out, see how far it's growing into the tree. Alright, we're out of here. We're gonna grab my one freaking piece of 2-man crosscut saw. Head on out of here. Alright, coming down into my last beaver flowage. Oh, looks like I got one. Nice, yeah, I got one beaver. Nice. Sweet. One down. Beaver number 2. Oh, and there's beaver number 3. So we got 3 beaver here. Nice. I'm gonna get all these remade and leave them in for another time. Whole family here. These first 2 little ones. That one looks like a bigger one over there though. Yeah, beaver number 2. Nice. Well, with all the chaga and catching these 3 beaver, that's a pretty good payday. Definitely one of the adult beaver right there. That's a big beaver. Just set remade real quick. To the last trap. Oh, yeah, right there. Alright, that one's remade. Grab the trap setters and these 2 beaver. Alright, last trap is set off. Oh yeah, a little beaver in it. Hit 4 beaver today. The little one. 4 for 4. Holy, that was pretty good trap placement on this place. 4 traps, 4 beaver. That's a good payday. Yeah, that was a pretty good day. From that, quite a bit of chaga. Must be a good 70 pounds, 60, 70 pounds there. So that's pretty good. And then them 4 beaver. Alright, well that's it for today, and tomorrow I don't know what we're doing for an adventure, but we'll do something for an adventure tomorrow. Alright, today we're gonna rototill the garden. Me and my father keep a veggie garden right here. So we grow like cucumbers, corn, potatoes, carrots, tomatoes. So we're gonna fire up the old Troy-Bilt. But first, before we fire up the old Troy-Bilt, I've had a piece of plastic over the cover. This cover is broken on the gas tank, and now there's plastic down inside, all deteriorated last winter. So I'm going to take the tank right off, clean that out before these pieces of plastic get in that carburetor. Yeah, I gotta take off these ones. Take this off first. There. Turn my tank off. So I'm going to switch the gas around in that, and then I'll go over my green pan and empty it out. Alright, that's all cleaned out. Hopefully it's all cleaned out. Some gas into it. Unfortunately, I don't have a new cap yet, so I'm going to use another plastic bag. So I'm going to poke a couple holes in it. Alright, this thing ain't been fired up since last year, so let's see how it does. I'm betting 3rd pull. Maybe less. Oh, there's 1. There's 2. No, it's not going to fire. What the hell? Well, I just let a bunch of water out of the bottom of the carburetor, so didn't even think of that with that cover being messed up. That water did get in there, so hopefully this thing will fire up for me. Re-choke it. Keep going. There we go. Oh. Give it a little more throttle. Yeah, we got it now, so we're gonna hammer it down. Yeah, all done. That come out pretty good. We'll do it one more time before I plant. Been working on the pumpkin patch, trying to get it all ready to plant, and we got it all plowed, and we've disc harrowed it some, so we got to fix the disc harrow from last time I disc harrowed. A couple of bolts broke on me, so we're gonna go fix that and get the disc harrowing. The last time I was running this, I ended up breaking these 2 bolts right here. These 2 bolts broke right off from this piece right here, and I have to take the rest of this plate off to get them bolts out. And I already had some new bolts, not new bolts, but bolts from parts disc harrow we got. I'll get them other 2 bolts undone. Got apart. Put it up here. It's like a workbench right here and this. My broken bolt right there. There. Put it back on. Slide that right back on there. Go over here and pick this up. Try to get that one. Yeah, we finally got it. Alright, we're off. Round and round we go. When we stop, the pumpkins will grow. All looks good. Gotta give credit to all them farmers that got that field all done. Probably one, maybe two more times around, and then that'll be ready for planting. And then I gotta do one more time through this one. All right, let's see how this.
I don't think it's gonna be dry enough.
I guess it is dry enough. Well, we're stuck in the old farm hall. So I gotta unhook the disc harrow, get the hell out of there, hook a chain up to it, drag it out. We ended up finishing up down below. We got unstuck. We ran out of space on the freaking GoPro, so didn't record anymore. So now we're gonna move back up to the upper patch. So I'm gonna do it once more over on that, see how it looks, and call it a day. Keep the bugs down. Yeah, I think that came out pretty good. We got patch 1 and patch 2. Tomorrow we'll go check some more beaver traps and do some more chaga hunting. By the end of the week, we'll be planting the field here. Well, today we're up checking them nuisance beaver traps again, and I'm going to do again like I did last time, go for a walk looking for chaga. So I got a big ridge out behind me. It's about 1,000 feet back there, but it looks like it'll be some nice wood. So we're going to do one quick walk over there, then we're going to check my traps. Yeah, this time of year is awesome to find apple trees. I'm out in the freaking middle of nowhere. I mean middle of nowhere. Somebody must have had an apple at lunchtime, because look at the apple tree. That's pretty cool. Bunch of blossoms on it. Yeah, this area right here we're walking through now is pretty shitty. Those types of areas I won't walk through for chaga. You might find one speck. Not like my normal places where I try to walk where they haven't cut and it's big trees. Man, look at this moose trail. That's a hell of a moose trail. Critter trail. I've been seeing some moose signs, so I bet that's moose trail. A little bit everything runs that trail, I bet. Look at all these trees coming out of the stump here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, now we're into the big wood. You can see behind me, that's all pretty crappy, and then over here, look at all them trees. So hopefully we find some through here. Right, well, I think I found my first piece, and I found another piece more down over the hill here. So there's a little bit on this little tree right here. Mosquitoes are out some fierce today. Now we got a piece right there, and we got a piece right there. Get up as high as I can. Can I? That. Yeah. So hopefully that's a good sign of what this walk will be. Hopefully find the bunch right off the bat, get back, go check trap. I probably should stop bringing a gun. It is baby season, so don't want to run into a mama bear or a mama deer or a mama moose, even a mama partridge. I don't know if you've ever been chased by a mama partridge, but man, they're crazy. They come right at you. I have run more than once over the years doing this. This time of year, I get walking, next thing I come across the mama with a nest. She'll chase you right down. She don't care. I mean, like, I've almost had to kick them off me there. So fierce for just a little bird. Pretty cool, but they gotta try to fend off coyotes and everything that wants to eat their eggs. So, and ground nest animals, it's hard. Alright, here's the ridge I was talking about. Man, that thing is freaking steep, so camera will never do it justice how steep that is. But we're gonna hop halfway up that ridge and walk right down the side of it. Some nice wood. It's a big old barrel on a maple. Some things are pretty cool. Check out this little river coming down off the mountain. That's pretty cool. One of my favorite things about my adventuring is you never know what you're gonna run into. So, yeah, this area sucks. Barely seeing any birch trees. Steep. I'm not continuing on. We're headed back to the truck, and I got one more area to go. Walk over by where I got some traps there, so we'll scoot over there and do a walk over there. All right, over into the new area. Hopefully this area produces a little better than that last place. Found some. Up high though. Yep, some right up there. Nice. Right there, piece of chaga. Yeah, that was a good piece. So that's pretty big. Yeah, that ain't bad. Yeah, I ain't finding crap for Chaga over here. Got one knot, that's it. Yeah, finally found some more. There's a little more. So, chopping them off. Old remote beaver bog. Once was a full-fledged beaver bog right here. Hammering, big old dam going across right here. Just barely tell this Chaga there. There it is, right there. Alright, we're gonna start working our way back. We're up there quite a ways. Found a couple more trees. We must have half a pack or so maybe. Check out the size of this freaking birch tree. This thing's huge. This freaking thing is monstrous. You know how old that tree is? That tree is probably over 100 years old. And there's a little more. Nice. Hey, we're back to the truck, so that was a pretty good walk. Yeah, that's a little bit. Kind of hoping for a whole pack full, but I'll take it. That's good enough. So we're at our nuisance beaver job, and I think I'm all done here. The water levels dropped. I saw a spot up here. The dam looked like it had breached and it wasn't being fixed, so I think we're done here. I don't think anything's been working on that. They would have that plugged right up. Might leave them in for one more check. Yep, we'll leave a couple of these in and come back next week and check them. Hey, I got it all recasted, so hopefully we catch one more, or that is it. So just one more check will be the guarantee. There's nothing next time. Definitely nothing left. Coming down into my second spot. That trap is still set. And this trap is still set. Leave them set just one more time, since I'm leaving the other one set one more time. I'm actually bringing my parents up here this weekend to check these. My parents love coming up in this area, so I'm going to take a family ride up here and check these traps. Well, I was mistaken. There was a beaver left. We got it. There's one small beaver right there. Yep, definitely beaver here. Just, you know, some of these are hard to tell. There was no real fresh sign here. Dam was holding water, but no real fresh sign. Yeah, I definitely should have set this bank den from day one. That's definitely 100% the bank den. Just drop this trap right here in that channel. Set it right down in there. Put a couple of sticks in it. I think that'll be good. I think that'll work. We ought to get something in that if anything's left here. Might have just been that one. I don't know. Alright, going down into the last nuisance job. And so far 2 of my traps are still set, so not sure what's going on here. Son of a bitch, I missed them. Yep, there's my trap set off right down there. Alright, well we got that reset, and I think I'm gonna go grab one of my other traps and some caster and come up here and find another good spot. These beavers would have been just fine if they didn't plug the freaking culvert way down the road. They had plenty to do up here. If they just stayed up here, I wouldn't have to trap them, but they're messing with the road. So the road's just gonna wash away if I don't trap them out. Got one more set in. It's set right here. Crossover trail going down. We'll put some caster right there. So that's good for today. We'll be checking these next. We'll be checking these Sunday, so it'll be next week's vlog. So stay tuned next week to see if I end up catching this beaver finally. I wanted to show you why I'm trapping these beaver. There's water running across the road right here. There's a culvert right here that they have plugged right up. So I just went and visited with my parents, and they got a raccoon messing with them. So they got their garbage last night, and their little dog went after it last night. So we're gonna trap them out of here, relocate them. So I got some live traps here today. All right, since we don't have any sweet and salty granola bars, because that's what I usually always use for bait for raccoons, skunks, and groundhogs, we're gonna use some cat food. Poke a little bit out here, just give them a little taste of what's inside there, and he'll really want to go inside there. All right, I think we're all set there. That was easy. So we're also going to put up a game camera, so hopefully we can watch them going into this. So I'm going to try to find a good spot right here to set this up. We got a camera right there, so we'll check that tomorrow morning and see if we got a raccoon. All right, trap 2 is set. We set right here. Set it right up next to the skid steer. Put a camera right there. Parents' house is right there. They said they saw him over here last night, so we'll see if we get them by tomorrow.
So it's the next day. Let's go check them raccoon traps. See if we caught the sneaky little raccoon.
Trap one, still set. Raccoon got into that last night. Yep, no, cat food's still good. Yep, no raccoon last night.
So now we're out in the garden. We're gonna test some soil temps. I got a laser thermometer here.
We're just gonna dig a hole and test the temperature. See what it reads. 60. 57.8. Let's try somewhere else. Take a little hole. It's about 60.
It's 80 degrees on top in the sun right now.
And then we'll scrape some dirt away and do it down underneath, and it's reading 60.
I'm gonna till it one more time tomorrow morning, and we'll be planting by the end of tomorrow.
All right, now we're gonna go down on the pumpkin patch, do the same thing. It's probably reading the same temperature, but still gonna go check it. And now it's back to that 58. So still not quite ready for pumpkins.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna hold off on planting pumpkins a few more days. Really, they say about 65, 70 degrees is prime for pumpkin seeds to be planted in. So we'll till it today. It'll probably be the last time tilling. And then in a few days, should be ready. We'll be planting.
Can you spot Boss Dog? What are you doing up there on the log? It's right there.
Alright, we'll get the old tractor fired up, and we're going to hook onto the old disc harrow.
We're going to add some of this metal here. It's an old railroad track piece. Pretty damn heavy. So we're going to throw that right on top of the disc harrow, give it a little bit of weight. Alright, we're going to try that. Away we go. There, it's a little more chopped up. Every time I do it, it gets a little more chopped up. We just plowed over a fresh sod, so we keep doing this, trying to get it all chopped up and ready for planting. Them roots like a nice soft soil versus all clumpy, hard soil. Probably next Monday, Tuesday, we'll plant these 2 patches right up, and hopefully the soil temp will be 65 and more, hopefully around 70, but we'll see what it is. Alright, we're checking our raccoon traps today. Nope, still nothing. Yep, absolutely nothing. That sucks. Set it off so the dog don't mess with it. We'll go over and check the other one. I'm guessing the coon ain't around here because this trap's still freaking set too. Eventually he'll come back through here. Must be down by the neighbors or something right now. So today we're going to try to plant the garden. So I'm going to do one more tilling real quick right now. And then we'll start planting some seeds. Yeah, so we got a bucket of coffee grounds here that I've been saving. Coffee and chaga grounds. I'm gonna spread that around in the garden. They say it's supposed to be good for the garden, so. Alright, let's get to tilling. Alright, let's see how good the tiller fires up. This thing usually fires up first pull. We're gonna even try it without choking it. Freaking faithful. Yeah, garden is ready for planting. All we have to do is draw some straight lines. Gonna use some string probably and start drawing out some rows and start planting some seeds. Me and my father are gonna take this string and put it all the way across. We're actually gonna go diagonal this year. Our main trail, main walkway is gonna go diagonal up through the garden this year. So. Alright, making game plan right on the map before we freaking start. So here's our walkway. So we just start back a little ways and do one row.
No, do a couple rows right there.
Right there in the corner, make that little corner patch. So we're gonna
Do like 2 rows of beans.
Yeah, they're getting bigger now, so we'll do 2 rows of beans. First seeds going into the ground. Got some radishes. We love radishes. First thing you can be eating. What is it, like 20 days, 21 days on harvest?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're planting lots of carrots. We love canned carrots. Freaking very good. Very good. Probably my most favorite thing out of the garden is a can of fresh carrots. Doing some corn now. Lots of corn. All right, we're all done here for today. Starting to rain out, so that's good for the seeds. Get a good soaking, so they should germinate. And hopefully in a week or less, we should start seeing some radishes and start seeing everything pop. So stay tuned. So today we're going to work on this deer skull. One of my friends shot this beautiful 8-pointer last fall off his property. First deer he got on that property. So wanted me to do a European mount where we take all the meat and skin off of the skull and whiten the skull. Yeah, so we're going to take the fur off of that, get as much meat off of it as possible, and put it in my simmering pot of water and let it simmer for 4 or 5 hours, and pick it clean and put it in some hydrogen peroxide. It'll look nice when I'm done. I don't know, I might have to soak it just to get the skin off. Looks pretty dry. I'm just going to throw that right in the pot for now and let it soften up. I'm just going to let it soak for about an hour and then we'll try skinning it. While we wait for that skull, we're going to work up here in the pumpkin patch. So this is how I draw my straight lines in the field, is I use my truck and just drive back and forth. All I'm doing is riding in my previous rut. I want about 12 feet between my rows. You can see that's where my row of pumpkins is going to be. I drove the pickup twice, and that's 12 feet. And I left a foot gap for the row of pumpkins. And I'll ride the tracks 2 times and leave another gap. So yeah, this is just how it helps me get my straight rows and make sure I can fit the disc harrow between the rows. I do a few disc harrowings to get rid of weeds before they vine out. Last pass. They're all marked out. Alright, we're going to try to get this thing skinned now. It's been in there quite a while. Should be softened up enough to... Oh yeah. Alright, we got it all skinned. Come out pretty good. We're going to throw it right back in that pot and leave it in there for 3-4 hours. Alright, we're going to drop that right back down in there. Yeah, we got it down in there, got the horns out of the water, but all of the skull is under the water. So we'll check on that in a few hours and see how it's doing. Alright, the skull's been in there for a few hours. We're going to take it out, pick some meat off of it finally. Still do this right on my tailgate, keep the mess right out here. Alright, let's try to get some meat off of this thing. You gotta leave it in there for a couple more hours. Yeah, while we're waiting for that skull, we're gonna put some cow manure out into the pumpkin patch. Hey, we're just gonna put some shit in these buckets and bring it over there, and I'm gonna do every 3 paces. So it's gonna be about every 6 to 7 feet. There'll be a mound for my seeds. I already see a worm in the shit. That's, oh, lots of worms. That means it's good dirt, right? Cool. Make little mounds with this dirt right straight out of the bucket. Alright, we're gonna dump some shit out here. And make little mounds probably about like that big. Monday, we'll take and put 3 to 4 seeds. Probably gonna put 4 seeds in there and use a hoe and scrape some dirt over it. We're gonna go every 3 paces. So 1, 2, 3. Another pot. 2, 3. Yeah, so that'll work pretty good. I plant the seeds right in these piles of shit. And pumpkins need a lot of nutrient. Yeah, so we got 4 rows done. We got 2 rows here. And all you gotta do is start planting some seeds in all these manure piles. Well, that's it for the pumpkin patch. Now we're gonna go work on that skull a little bit longer, and then tomorrow, which will be next week's vlog, we'll be checking them nuisance traps I have up north. So the skull's coming out pretty good. That's getting there. Try to use a brush and try to brush off some more right now. Alright, I think I can just brush it off. Oh yeah, this is nice. Yeah, that's coming out nice. Yeah, that's coming out nice. So pretty much just gotta bleach it and it'll be all done. Which I just put it in hydrogen peroxide. We don't actually use bleach.
If you want to see the final result of this, make sure you stay tuned in next week.
All right, well, that's it for this week. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and stay tuned in next week to see more adventures with the Beaver Retriever.